Step back in time and discover the brilliant kitchen tricks that helped past generations save time and effort. From smart storage methods to clever cooking solutions, these 35 timeless hacks show that creativity and practicality have always been key ingredients in the kitchen. Before expiration dates became the norm, home cooks relied on a quick and foolproof way to determine if an egg was still good to eat. This clever hack, passed down for generations, remains one of the most effective ways to check egg freshness, no cracking required. The method is simple. Fill a bowl with cold water and gently place the egg inside. If it sinks and lays flat, it's perfectly fresh. If it stands upright but still touches the bottom, it's older but still safe, ideal for baking or boiling. But if it floats, it's time to toss it, as a larger air pocket inside means it's likely spoiled. This test works because eggshells are porous, allowing air to seep in over time. As the liquid inside evaporates, the egg becomes lighter and more buoyant. Even today, this trick helps reduce food waste and ensures you're always cooking with the best quality eggs. Try it next time you're unsure. It's a simple, time-tested solution that never fails. Garlic, onions, and fish add incredible flavor to meals, but they also leave behind stubborn odors on your hands. Long before fancy soaps and scented cleansers, people discovered a simple yet effective way to eliminate these lingering smells: stainless steel. When handling pungent foods, sulfur compounds transfer to the skin, creating odors that don't wash away easily with just soap and water. The solution? Rubbing your hands against a stainless steel surface, like a spoon, faucet, or even a kitchen sink, while rinsing them under cold water. The metal binds to the sulfur molecules, neutralizing the smell almost instantly. This trick has been used for generations and remains one of the easiest ways to refresh your hands after cooking. Some even swear by stainless steel soap bars designed specifically for this purpose, but regular kitchen utensils work just as well. Try it the next time you're chopping onions. You'll be surprised at how effective this simple hack really is. Poaching eggs can be tricky. One wrong move, and the whites scatter into the water, leaving you with a mess instead of a perfectly round egg. Luckily, home cooks and professional chefs have relied on a simple solution for generations: vinegar. Adding a splash of vinegar to simmering water helps the egg whites firm up faster, keeping them from spreading too much. This is thanks to the acetic acid in vinegar, which encourages the proteins in the egg to coagulate more quickly. The result? A beautifully shaped restaurant-quality poached egg with a runny yolk and firm whites. To try this trick, bring water to a gentle simmer. Add about a teaspoon of white vinegar per cup of water and carefully slide in your egg. Let it cook for 3 to 4 minutes before scooping it out. For best results, avoid strong flavored vinegars like balsamic. White or apple cider vinegar works best. Give it a try and enjoy poached eggs the easy way. If you already thought this was a nice hack, keep watching because the next one is also interesting. Potatoes are a pantry staple, but they tend to sprout quickly if not stored properly. Luckily, there's a simple trick that has been used for generations: storing potatoes with apples. Apples release ethylene gas, a natural plant hormone that affects ripening. While ethylene speeds up ripening in fruits, it has the opposite effect on potatoes. It slows down the sprouting process, helping them stay fresh for much longer. To use this trick, simply place a few apples in the same basket or bag as your potatoes and store them in a cool, dark place. Just be sure to check them occasionally, as one spoiled potato can still cause the others to rot. One more tip: keep potatoes away from onions. Onions release moisture and gases that make potatoes spoil faster. With this apple trick, you can extend your potatoes' shelf life naturally and reduce food waste at the same time. Waiting for hot liquids or soups to cool down can feel like an eternity, but here's a simple trick that speeds up the process: using a metal spoon. This old-school kitchen hack takes advantage of metal's ability to conduct heat efficiently, helping food reach a safe and comfortable temperature more quickly. Here's how it works. When you place a metal spoon into a bowl of hot soup, stew, or sauce, the spoon absorbs some of the heat and disperses it into the air, cooling the liquid faster. If you stir with the spoon, even better. The continuous movement allows heat to dissipate more evenly, reducing the waiting time before serving. For an extra cooling boost, chill the spoon in ice water before placing it in your dish. This trick is especially handy when preparing meals for kids or when you're short on time. Simple, yet effective. It's a small adjustment that makes a big difference in the kitchen. Celery has a frustrating habit of wilting quickly in the fridge, but a simple aluminum foil trick can keep it crisp and fresh for weeks. Unlike plastic bags, which trap moisture and make celery limp, aluminum foil allows just the right amount of air to circulate, preventing excess moisture buildup while maintaining the stalk's crunch. To use this hack, simply remove any plastic packaging, wrap the celery tightly in aluminum foil, and store it in the crisper drawer of your refrigerator. The foil helps regulate moisture levels and slows down the ethylene gas release, which is what causes produce to spoil. Whenever you need fresh celery for cooking or snacking, just unwrap what you need and rewrap the rest. No more soggy or rubbery stalks. This simple method extends the shelf life of celery, reduces food waste, and ensures you always have crisp, flavorful celery ready to use. Give it a try and see the difference. Cutting through sticky foods like honey, caramel, or soft cheeses can be a frustrating mess, but there's an easy fix. Dipping your knife in hot water before slicing creates a smooth, effortless cut, preventing the food from sticking to the blade. This trick works because the heat slightly melts or loosens the surface of sticky foods, reducing resistance as the knife glides through. To use it, simply dip your knife in a cup of hot water for a few seconds. Wipe off any excess water and then make your cut. The warmth of the blade allows it to move cleanly through even the stickiest of ingredients. This method is especially useful for slicing cakes, brownies, butter, and fudge without pulling or dragging the edges. It's also great for scooping ice cream when it's rock hard. With just a little heat, you can achieve perfect, mess-free slices every time. No frustration, just smooth cuts. Long before vacuum-sealed packaging, people discovered an ingenious way to preserve their cheese. By coating the outside of a block of cheese with a thick layer of butter, they created an airtight seal that kept moisture in and oxygen out. This simple trick prevented the cheese from drying out and extended its shelf life significantly. Not only was this hack practical, but it also ensured that no cheese went to waste, a critical concern in times when food was precious. The butter coating could be easily scraped off before eating, leaving the cheese inside perfectly fresh. While we rely on plastic wraps and resealable bags today, this old-school method is making a comeback among those who prefer sustainable and natural food storage solutions. Why not give it a try with your favorite cheese and see how well it works? If you already thought this was a nice hack, keep watching because the next one is also interesting. Eggs are a kitchen staple, but keeping them fresh before the advent of modern refrigeration was a challenge. That's where saltwater brine came into play. People would submerge eggs in a mixture of salt and water, creating an environment that slowed down the natural aging process of the eggs. The brine not only helped maintain the egg's freshness, but also kept harmful bacteria at bay. This preservation method was particularly useful in the days when households relied on their own chickens for egg production and needed to store the surplus for weeks at a time. Even today, this technique can be useful for those who prefer to buy eggs in bulk or live in areas where refrigeration is unreliable. If you're curious, try creating a saltwater solution and storing a few eggs to see how effective this time-tested trick really is. Got rock-hard brown sugar? This classic kitchen hack has been a lifesaver for years. Simply place a slice of bread inside the container with the hardened sugar. The moisture from the bread works its magic, rehydrating the sugar and restoring its soft, crumbly texture. It's not only effective, but also incredibly easy. No need for fancy gadgets or a trip to the store. This trick works best if you seal the container tightly and give it some time, usually overnight. By the next day, your sugar is good as new, ready to sprinkle on your favorite recipes. Plus, the bread stays fresh enough to reuse for a few days if needed. This simple hack proves that sometimes the best solutions are right in your pantry. So next time you're dealing with stubborn sugar, skip the frustration and reach for a slice of bread. It's a sweet fix that never fails. Cooking pasta or boiling potatoes can quickly turn messy when liquids bubble over and spill onto the stovetop. Enter the wooden spoon trick, an old-school but highly effective solution. By placing a wooden spoon across the top of your pot, you can stop boiling liquids from spilling over. Here's how it works. As bubbles rise, they come into contact with the spoon, which breaks the surface tension and disperses them. Since wood doesn't conduct heat, the spoon remains cool enough to disrupt the bubbling process without melting or warping. It's a low-tech, no-fuss solution that stood the test of time. Best of all, this trick requires no extra tools, just something you likely already have in your kitchen. Whether you're cooking a big family meal or a quick weeknight dinner, this hack saves you from unnecessary cleanup. Speaking of simple yet effective kitchen solutions, wait until you hear how vinegar can leave your dishes sparkling clean. Long before modern dishwashing liquids became kitchen staples, vinegar was the ultimate grease-busting hero. This natural cleaner was used to cut through stubborn grease and leave dishes sparkling clean. Its acidic properties work wonders in breaking down oily residues and removing lingering odors, making it a versatile cleaning agent. To use this classic trick, people would mix a bit of vinegar with warm water and give their dishes a good rinse. Not only did it clean effectively, but it also eliminated the need for chemical-laden products. The bonus? Vinegar is eco-friendly, affordable, and readily available in most households. Have you ever tried using vinegar for cleaning in your kitchen? This hack is still relevant today, especially for those seeking sustainable alternatives. Whether you're tackling a greasy pan or giving glassware a brilliant shine, vinegar delivers results. It's a simple yet powerful reminder that some of the best cleaning solutions come from nature and from age-old wisdom passed down through generations. Don't toss those used coffee grounds. They're more than just waste. Long cherished by thrifty households, coffee grounds double as a natural abrasive for cleaning stubborn grime off pots and pans. The gritty texture is perfect for scrubbing away baked-on food and grease without damaging cookware. Plus, they're eco-friendly and cost nothing extra, since they're a byproduct of your morning brew. To use this hack, simply rub the grounds onto dirty surfaces with a sponge or cloth, then rinse thoroughly. They also work wonders on tough stains in sinks and even for cleaning garden tools. Beyond their scrubbing power, coffee grounds add a subtle, earthy aroma, making the cleaning experience oddly satisfying. This time-tested trick is a testament to resourcefulness, turning kitchen leftovers into a handy cleaning solution. So, next time you brew coffee, save those grounds. They're a sustainable, practical way to keep your kitchen sparkling and your cookware in top shape. Slicing soft cakes or cheeses into perfect portions has always been a challenge, until this simple trick came along. A piece of string or dental floss was the go-to tool for a clean, precise cut. Unlike knives, which can smush or crumble delicate textures, floss glides smoothly through cakes and cheeses without leaving jagged edges. The method is as easy as it gets. Stretch the floss taut, press it down gently through the cake or cheese, and voila! Perfectly sliced portions every time. For best results, use unflavored dental floss to avoid any unwanted flavors. This hack isn't just for cakes and cheese. It's also great for soft breads or layered desserts like cheesecake. Its simplicity and effectiveness make it a timeless kitchen trick. Whether you're prepping a party platter or serving dessert, this clever technique ensures your slices look as good as they taste. And when it's time to butter up your corn on the cob, there's another ingenious hack you won't want to miss. Corn on the cob fresh off the grill or boiling pot is a summer classic, but buttering it can get messy fast. That's where this genius hack comes in. By rubbing a stick of butter over the hot corn using the wrapper as a handle, you can evenly coat each kernel while keeping your hands clean. It's an effortless way to ensure every bite is buttery perfection. The heat from the corn melts the butter as you glide it across, making application smooth and mess-free. Plus, the wrapper protects your fingers from the heat and grease, keeping the process tidy. This trick isn't just practical, it's downright satisfying, turning a potentially frustrating task into a simple pleasure. Perfect for barbecues, picnics, or family dinners, it's a little life hack that makes enjoying corn on the cob even better. So, next time you're serving corn, grab a stick of butter and give this timeless trick a try. No rolling pin? No problem. An empty wine bottle was the perfect substitute for rolling out dough in a pinch. This clever kitchen hack turned an everyday item into a versatile baking tool. The smooth, cylindrical shape of the bottle mimics the functionality of a rolling pin, making it ideal for flattening pie crusts, cookie dough, or even homemade pasta. To use it, all you needed was a clean, dry bottle. Bonus points if it was chilled to help keep the dough from sticking. Some bakers even filled the bottle with cold water to maintain a steady temperature while rolling. This resourceful trick showcases how creativity and adaptability can save the day when traditional tools aren't available. It's a testament to how necessity inspires innovation. proving that with a little ingenuity, you can make do with what you have. So next time you're in a baking bind, grab that wine bottle and roll with it. Meat grinders were the multitasking kitchen gadgets of their time, proving they could do far more than grind meat. These versatile devices were used to create homemade breadcrumbs, grind coffee beans, and even prepare baby food. The straightforward design made them ideal for breaking down a variety of ingredients into fine, uniform textures. For breadcrumbs, leftover bread could be ground into crumbs perfect for coating or topping dishes. Coffee lovers used the grinder to achieve a consistent grind for their morning brews. Parents even relied on meat grinders to puree fruits and vegetables into nutritious baby food. This multifunctionality not only saved money but also encouraged a waste-free approach to cooking. The grinder's adaptability turned it into an essential tool in kitchens everywhere. Whether repurposing leftovers or preparing meals from scratch, this old-school gadget proved that simplicity and ingenuity can go a long way in making everyday cooking easier and more efficient. Speaking of clever kitchen hacks, wait until you hear how pre-making roux could save both time and effort in your cooking. Preparing a roux ahead of time was a game changer for busy cooks. This mixture of flour and fat, typically butter, is the foundation of many soups, sauces, and stews. Instead of making it fresh every time, savvy home chefs would pre-make a batch and store it for future use. The process was simple. Cook the flour and fat together until you achieved the desired color, white for mild thickening or darker for rich, nutty flavors. Once cooled, the roux could be refrigerated or even frozen in portions, ready to add to recipes at a moment's notice. This hack not only saved time, but also ensured consistent results, as the pre-cooked roux could be incorporated seamlessly into hot liquids. Have you ever thought about preparing a batch of roux in advance to simplify your cooking routine? It's a timeless tip for creating creamy gravies, velvety soups, or indulgent mac and cheese without the extra hassle. With a ready-made roux on hand, thickening your favorite dishes became a quick and effortless task. Need to boil water faster? A pinch of salt was the go-to trick for saving time in the kitchen. This simple hack works because salt raises the boiling point of water slightly, allowing it to heat up more efficiently. While the difference may be minimal, every second counts on busy days when you're juggling multiple tasks. Whether cooking pasta, boiling potatoes, or preparing grains, adding salt not only sped up the process, but also enhanced the flavor of the ingredients. It's a win-win solution that combines practicality with culinary benefit. To make the most of this trick, sprinkle the salt into the water as it heats, just enough to help it boil quicker without overpowering the dish. It's a small step with big results, proving that even the simplest techniques can make a difference in the kitchen. Next time you're in a rush, remember this classic time-saving tip for getting meals on the table faster. Keeping a kitchen organized is key, and hanging utensils on hooks or racks was a clever way to achieve that. This timeless trick not only saved counter and drawer space, but also made essential tools easily accessible. From spatulas and ladles to whisks and tongs, hanging utensils ensured everything was within arm's reach while cooking. Installing a simple row of hooks along a backsplash or underneath cabinets created an efficient storage solution that was both functional and visually appealing. This approach worked for more than just utensils. Hanging pots, pans, or even mugs added to the practicality and charm. Beyond saving space, it also kept the kitchen tidy and prevented the frustration of rummaging through drawers. Whether in a small apartment or a large home kitchen, this hack helped maximize space and streamline workflow. And for storing smaller kitchen essentials, an entirely different yet equally ingenious solution was just a tin container away. Old biscuit tins were repurposed as stackable storage containers, proving that practicality and sustainability go hand in hand. These tins, often adorned with colorful designs, were perfect for storing dry goods like flour, sugar, rice, or coffee. Their sturdy, airtight construction helped keep contents fresh while protecting them from pests. The stackable design made them ideal for maximizing storage space in cupboards or pantries, especially in smaller kitchens. Labels could be added for quick identification, and the tin's charming appearance brought a touch of vintage elegance to the kitchen. Beyond food storage, they were also used for organizing other items like sewing supplies, cookies, or even tea bags. This resourceful trick embodied a waste not, want not mentality, giving second life to something that might otherwise be discarded. Whether for organization or aesthetic appeal, stackable tin containers were a brilliant solution that combined functionality with nostalgic charm, making them a favorite in many households. Before the invention of crisper drawers, keeping root vegetables fresh required ingenuity. A tried-and-true method was burying vegetables like carrots, turnips, or parsnips in sand or sawdust. This technique worked by creating a cool, dry, and dark environment that mimicked the conditions of underground storage. By insulating the vegetables, the sand or sawdust prevented moisture loss and kept them firm for months. This was especially common in colder climates where root cellars or outdoor storage pits were popular. The process was simple: clean the vegetables, layer them in a container with sand or sawdust, and ensure they were completely covered. Not only did this preserve their texture and flavor, but it also helped reduce food waste when refrigeration wasn't an option. This practical, old-fashioned storage method still has relevance today, especially for gardeners or those seeking eco-friendly ways to store fresh produce without relying on modern appliances. Canning with wax seals was a classic method for preserving jams, jellies, and other homemade delights, ensuring they remained shelf-stable for years. Before modern vacuum-sealed lids, melted paraffin wax was poured over the top of the preserve to create an airtight barrier. Once cooled and solidified, the wax formed a protective seal that kept air, bacteria, and moisture out, safeguarding the contents from spoilage. This method was not only effective but also economical, as the wax could often be reused. While the process required a steady hand and attention to detail, it allowed families to enjoy seasonal fruits and homemade spreads long after the harvest. Wax-sealed jars were typically stored in cool, dark places like pantries or cellars to maximize their shelf life. Although more advanced canning methods have since taken over, this age-old technique remains a nostalgic reminder of simpler times and the resourceful ways people preserved their food. And speaking of clever ways to keep things fresh, let's dive into a quick and easy test to check if your eggs are still good. Have you ever found an egg in your fridge and wondered if it was still good to eat? The water test was a simple yet reliable way to determine its freshness. This age-old trick involved placing an egg in a bowl or glass of water. If the egg sank and lay flat on the bottom, it was fresh and ready to use. If it stood upright but still touched the bottom, it was slightly older but still safe to eat. However, if the egg floated to the surface, it was a clear sign it had gone bad and should be discarded. This method worked because eggshells are porous, allowing air to seep in over time. The more air inside, the more buoyant the egg becomes. It's a quick and practical test that saved countless meals from potential waste. Even today, this timeless technique remains a handy tool in the kitchen, especially for those who want to avoid accidentally cracking a bad egg into their recipes. Keeping salt from clumping in humid conditions was a common kitchen challenge, and rice was the perfect solution. By adding a few grains of uncooked rice to the salt shaker, the rice absorbed excess moisture, preventing the salt from clumping and making it easy to pour. This clever trick worked because rice is highly absorbent and doesn't interfere with the salt's flavor or texture. It was especially useful in regions with high humidity, where moisture in the air often caused salt to harden into an unusable block. The grains of rice stayed at the bottom of the shaker, unobtrusive but effective, ensuring a smooth pour every time. This simple, cost-effective hack is still used today, proving that sometimes the best solutions are the simplest. Whether in a small home kitchen or a bustling restaurant, this little trick kept salt shakers functional and meals properly seasoned no matter the weather. Wooden cutting boards are kitchen essentials, but they can easily absorb strong odors from ingredients like garlic, onions, or fish. The go-to solution? Baking soda. This natural deodorizer worked wonders to neutralize unpleasant smells, leaving cutting boards fresh and ready for their next use. The method was simple. Sprinkle a generous amount of baking soda across the surface of the board, rub it in with a damp sponge or cloth, and let it sit for a few minutes. Afterward, rinse thoroughly with warm water, and the odors were gone. Baking soda's gentle abrasiveness also helped lift stubborn grime without damaging the wood. It was a safe, effective, and eco-friendly cleaning solution that required no harsh chemicals. This timeless hack proved that something as basic as baking soda could be a powerhouse in the kitchen, making it an essential tool for keeping cutting boards clean and odor-free. And for tackling stubborn stains on countertops and even fabrics, another natural powerhouse, lemon, came to the rescue. Lemon juice was a natural miracle cleaner for tackling tough stains, both in the kitchen and beyond. Its high acidity made it effective at breaking down grease, lifting discoloration, and even acting as a mild bleaching agent. To remove stains from countertops, cutting boards, or utensils, people would simply rub a cut lemon directly onto the stained surface, sometimes sprinkling salt or baking soda for added scrubbing power. For fabrics, lemon juice was often applied to stained areas, then left to sit in the sun, which enhanced its bleaching properties. This trick worked wonders on rust, ink, and food stains, restoring surfaces and fabrics to their former glory. Beyond its cleaning power, lemon juice left a fresh, citrusy scent that brightened the space. Affordable, natural, and easy to find, lemons became a household staple for anyone looking to maintain a spotless home while avoiding chemical-based cleaners. Pickle juice wasn't just tossed out. It was a secret weapon in the kitchen, repurposed for various flavorful uses. The tangy seasoned brine made an excellent marinade for meats, infusing them with a zesty kick and tenderizing them at the same time. It was also a go-to base for salad dressings, lending a bold, vinegary flavor to greens without needing additional seasoning. Some even used pickle juice to brine vegetables or hard-boiled eggs, creating quick pickles with minimal effort. Its versatility didn't stop there. Pickle brine was also a favorite for adding a punch of flavor to potato salads, deviled eggs, or even cocktails like the trendy pickleback shot. This resourceful hack reduced waste and maximized flavor, proving that nothing in the kitchen should go to waste. Today, the practice of reusing pickle juice remains popular, showcasing its timeless appeal as a flavorful and sustainable ingredient in everyday cooking. Keeping lettuce and leafy greens fresh was a challenge before modern refrigeration, but wrapping them in a damp cloth was a game changer. This simple method worked by maintaining a cool, moist environment that prevented the greens from wilting while also protecting them from excess humidity. After washing and lightly drying the greens, they were wrapped snugly in a clean, damp cloth and stored in a cool spot, whether in a root cellar or later in a refrigerator. This technique kept greens crisp and vibrant for days, extending their shelf life and reducing food waste. It was especially handy for delicate lettuce varieties that easily lost their freshness. Even today, this hack is a favorite among those who prefer a low-tech, eco-friendly approach to food storage. As we explore more ways to reduce waste in the kitchen, let's take a look at how bacon grease was cleverly repurposed to enhance meals and avoid waste. Throwing away bacon grease? Not a chance. This flavorful fat was a prized kitchen staple, saved and reused to add richness to a variety of dishes. After cooking bacon, the rendered grease was strained and stored in jars, often kept on the countertop or in the fridge. Its smoky, savory flavor made it ideal for frying eggs, sautéing vegetables, or even greasing a skillet for cornbread. It wasn't just limited to cooking. Bacon grease was a secret ingredient in many baked goods, like biscuits or pie crusts, giving them an extra layer of flavor. Have you ever thought about how versatile bacon grease could be in your cooking? This thrifty hack reduced waste and turned a byproduct into a versatile, multi-purpose ingredient. Even today, many home cooks swear by this timeless practice, embracing bacon grease as a flavorful alternative to butter or oil. It's a reminder of the resourcefulness that once defined the kitchen. Nothing wasted, everything used. Stale bread was far from useless in the kitchen. It was transformed into versatile breadcrumbs that found their way into countless recipes. Instead of throwing out hard, dried loaves, people grated or crumbled them into fine or coarse crumbs, depending on the need. These homemade breadcrumbs were perfect for coating meats, adding texture to casseroles, or thickening soups and stews. They also made an excellent topping for baked dishes, creating a crispy golden crust. For a flavor boost, the crumbs could be seasoned with herbs, garlic, or cheese. The process was simple, requiring just a grater or even a quick pulse in a food processor, and the crumbs could be stored for future use. This clever practice not only reduced food waste, but also added value to something that might otherwise have been discarded. Turning stale bread into breadcrumbs remains a practical, cost-effective hack that has stood the test of time in kitchens everywhere. When in a pinch, a trusty kitchen towel became a multitasking hero, doubling as a pot holder or even a lid lifter. Its thick, durable fabric provided just enough insulation to safely handle hot pans, baking sheets, or steaming lids. The technique was simple. Fold the towel a few times to create layers, ensuring your hands were protected from the heat. It wasn't just practical, it was a lifesaver in moments when traditional pot holders or oven mitts weren't within reach. Kitchen towels were also used to lift hot lids from bubbling pots, preventing accidental burns or spills. This hack was as simple as it was effective, showcasing the ingenuity of home cooks who made do with what they had. Even today, the kitchen towel remains a versatile tool in any cook's arsenal. And speaking of resourcefulness, nothing epitomizes kitchen creativity quite like making use of every scrap, an approach that minimized waste and maximized flavor. In vintage kitchens, nothing went to waste. Every scrap of food had a purpose, reflecting a resourceful and sustainable way of life. Vegetable peels, herb stems, and leftover bones were saved to make flavorful soup stocks, ensuring that every bit of nutrition was extracted. Bread crusts, potato skins, and even meat trimmings found new life in creative recipes or as flavorful additions to meals. Scraps that couldn't be reused in cooking were often composted, enriching garden soil and completing the cycle of sustainability. This zero-waste approach extended beyond food. Jars, tins, and fabric scraps were repurposed for storage or household needs. These practices weren't just about saving money. They embodied a deeper respect for resources and the environment. Today, this mindset is making a comeback, inspiring modern cooks to embrace similar habits. The lesson is clear. With a little creativity, every scrap has potential to add value, both in and beyond the kitchen. A ball of twine was an essential tool in vintage kitchens, used for tying up roasts, securing packages, or even crafting. To keep it neat and easily accessible, people stored the twine in a tin with a small hole punched through the lid. This clever DIY dispenser prevented the string from tangling and ensured it was always within reach when needed. The design was simple, yet effective. The twine would feed smoothly through the hole as it was pulled, keeping the rest of the ball contained and protected from dust or spills. It was an ingenious way to stay organized and save time during meal prep or household tasks. This hack showcased the practicality and resourcefulness of the time, turning everyday items into functional tools. Even today, this idea inspires similar solutions for organizing string, yarn, or other materials, proving that good design doesn't need to be complicated to be effective. Long before refrigerators became a kitchen standard, iceboxes were the go-to solution for keeping perishables cool. These insulated chests were designed to hold large blocks of ice, which acted as a cooling agent to preserve food. The blocks were delivered regularly by ice vendors and placed in a compartment at the top or bottom of the icebox. As the ice melted, the cool air circulated through the insulated space, keeping milk, butter, meat, and other perishables fresh for days. A drip pan collected the melted water, which had to be emptied regularly. Have you ever wondered how households managed to keep food fresh before the luxury of modern appliances? Though basic by today's standards, iceboxes were a revolutionary innovation in food storage, extending the shelf life of ingredients and reducing waste. The icebox era laid the foundation for today's refrigerators, blending practicality with early engineering to meet a fundamental need in the kitchen. I hope you enjoyed this journey through the timeless ingenuity of vintage kitchen hacks. Which one surprised you the most? Did any spark memories of your own? Let us know in the comments. If you love discovering creative solutions from the past as much as we do, be sure to like and subscribe for more. Until next time, happy cooking!